Here I am, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Basically the hills of Pennsylvania, the foothills. There's mounds all over the place. If you're into kind of earth stuff, this was all carved out by glaciers. I guess those are, I want to call them doldrums, where basically the glacier stopped for a time and then just like the waterfall that came off it just packed sediment back when they were receding, what, 10,000 years ago. So, but been a year since I took earth science, so I could be wrong. But it's off, headed south still through Pennsylvania, and probably be out of Pennsylvania by the end of tonight. Geology. Geology was the word I was looking for. But that's not here nor there. The fun thing about some of these trips is you just kind of like review all your things as you see different formations in nature. And you're like, I remember earth science where we kind of went through all this stuff. And you just rehashing a lot of old knowledge that you might have had or might have heard. So just curiosities. You'll hear more if you go to parks and stuff like that. They'll explain how some of the parks were formed, that are, especially ones that are unusual, like Yosemite or Yellowstone National Park. But those parks aren't here in Pennsylvania. So they call this a scenic overlook. Well, I guess it's okay. Actually, I think it would be nice to live on a street like this. Inside the house, I can't imagine it's too loud. Get a nice little deck and kind of look out over the river, the Susquehanna River. Right near Harrisburg, the capital. I believe Harrisburg's the capital of Pennsylvania. I'm just cruising along. 15 here, which is I'm taking. I normally don't take streets this busy, but 15's kind of scenic. And so I don't really have a problem taking 15 down. Plus, I'm in this area a bunch as it is. So, you know, going off on other roads doesn't really appeal as much as, you know, just kind of cruising through the area. But got to continue on. The thing about Pennsylvania, and you're going through it, it's quite a lovely state in the fact that you know, it's so wooded and so you know, kind of friendly and inviting when it comes to this. And it's an older area, like the hills and the mountains. They're older, so they're far more rounded, and they're all covered in trees. Unlike mountains with the sharp peaks, that means they're younger and they've been formed recently, or they're still being forced up. So this is that the East Coast and the West Coast are quite different. But as you go through Pennsylvania, you get a nice little rolling hills and whatnot. You can understand why people like it. And also, you don't get in the East Coast the fires because it's not that dry. It rains enough that, man, I can't remember there being ever in my lifetime a substantial forest fire out here. And just going through, especially because as soon as you leave this area, you know, the Amish become like, I don't think I've ever heard of there being any Amish on the West Coast. On the East Coast, that's where you find these Amish, and you can see their stores all pop up. You know, and they make really good furniture. But the unfortunate with some of their furniture, it's extremely heavy. They like to use they will use heavy woods and such like that. It's not the light stuff that's durable and whatnot. That's all the plastic composites. there's a number of small towns you can bump through. One town I bumped into going down was Gettysburg. I've been to Gettysburg many times, and I was going to Antietam National Battlefield. So when I was heading through Gettysburg, I just kind of whipped through it. This right here is just Gettysburg Road, right down the middle of the battlefield. It's a place to see, and it's worthwhile. Gettysburg, but wasn't really on a trip today. Been there plenty of times. So that's this trip. This leg of the trip. Off to the next one. It'll be fun. Here we are at a national park. Technically, there's a mountain near here, but you got to remember the mountains aren't exactly like the Rockies. The Appalachian chain is really kind of like really smooth. So they got some hiking trails up there, but Pennsylvania has absolutely very good riding. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best in the country, but there's definitely good stuff like here that you're going through a lot of the parks. It's really nice. It's nice and cool because I think it's like low 80s, but in the park it's like mid 70s, so it's nice and comfortable. You get a nice little stream to go by. I'm sure there's a lot of information you can get here about birds and the local animal life, but Camp Pendle. And this is just a little south of Gettysburg. Actually, technically I'm in Maryland. Yeah, that's right, I'm in Maryland. Huh. If you're not paying attention, some of these small streets, and you cross the state, it's very easy to forget that you've changed. Oh, they have an algae. They're trying to get rid of some kind of invasive algae. Ground coloring the stream beds and smothers. Oh, okay, kills insects. Some kind of algae that's killing insects in the stream. They're trying to get rid of it. But this is Maryland. Technically, they say it's a mountain, I guess. I don't know if there's any real version of just any hill. What's the difference between a hill and a mountain? I'm not really sure. So, loving nature, loving being outside. And the only problem that I've been having so far through this trip is just the labor shortage in a bunch of places that should be open that aren't open because they can't get anyone. All right, but continue on. we have the Burnside Bridge. Now, why is it called the Burnside Bridge? I do not know. Hopefully we'll find out. This is, I don't know if we're on the battlefield of Antietam or what. Okay, on the morning of September 17th, 1862, the bridge was defended by the 2nd and the 20th Georgia Brigade, the 40th Georgia, and Drayton's Brigade. The 20th Georgia was on the Highwood Bluff, immediate opposite end of the bridge, and the 2nd were ordered to support companies, blah, 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 blah. Oh, so this was the bridge. You know, the Battle of Antietam, there was a really bloody battle, and where it was bloodiest was at a bridge. I guess this is the bridge, which you can take a tube and slowly drift under. Okay, that's interesting. So, I'm going to be doing the battlefield of Antietam tomorrow, and I just saw Burnside Bridge as a big tourist attraction, so I guess I'm going to learn a lot about this tomorrow. So this is the Burnside Bridge, the bridge where I guess one of the hardest, one of the bloodiest days of the Civil War was actually occurred. So don't want to get too much into it. I'll be here tomorrow. 51st New York Infantry, my peoples. Okay, I'll just look around a little bit. Don't want to get a little too overly into this, because want it to be want to hear it a witness to history. As a young tree, the Burnside sycamore witnessed the Battle of Antietam. It still stands more than 150 years and remains a favorite landmark for the park. That tree. The fence here has kept foot traffic from the base of the trees, help reduce soil erosion and steam bank erosion that threatens the health of the Burnside list. So that tree was here. That tree was here when the battle fought. 51st PB, Maryland. We showed the lead across the, we showered the lead across that tree. Okay. Okay, so it was Burnside who, his corps was the corps that attempted to take the bridge. Okay. I know the Battle of Antietam was technically a draw, but Lee retreated after the battle. So Lincoln declared it a victory, and by declaring it a victory allowed him to announce the Emancipation Proclamation. So it does have a special place in history.